Please rise and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning and welcome to RPtv.
Good morning and welcome to RPtv. Today is Wednesday, February 26, 2020. Once again, New Jersey finds itself in the middle of an unusual weather pattern as we move closer to springtime. It looks like we are going to be hit with wind and rain. Let's go to Colin for that report.
Keep those umbrellas handy during the next 2 days and keep a tight grip on your hat on Thursday. A stormy weather pattern is going to trouble New Jersey this week, bringing several periods of rain showers and a small chance of some thunderstorms tonight into tomorrow. According to the National Weather Service, a wet and dreary period is setting up for the next 24 to 36 hours across the region. The Weather Service grimly noted in its morning forecast discussion. The steadiest, heaviest period of rain looks like it will be Wednesday night into the pre-dawn hours on Thursday, said Jonathan O'Brien, a meteorologist at the Weather Service's Regional Forecast Office in Mount Holly. Thunderstorms in late February are not typical in New Jersey, but they are not unheard of. While most of the rain should be gone by tomorrow, the interaction between two nearby storm systems will likely generate strong winds, with temperatures hovering in the 40s. Forecasters say that winds could gust up to 35 to 45 miles per hour.
Now it's time for announcements. On Friday, March 6th, Interact will be sponsoring Chinese Buffet. Tickets are $5 in advance and $7 at door. Tickets can be purchased during lunches. Polka Club, Black History Month celebration, Thursday, February 27th, after school in the Media Center. The Future Health Careers Club, in collaboration with retailer Aeropostale, is collecting generally used jeans that will be distributed to homeless teens. Jeans are one item most requested by homeless teenagers. Please drop off or send it to nurse's office by Friday, March 27th. Art Club and National Art Honor Society will be meeting Fridays after school in room 102 during the school year. We are working on projects and sometimes exploring new media. Join us. Also, Art Club and NHS are collecting real or made-up recipes connecting to community, culture, or connections. These can be any size, handwritten, and decorated, and will be sent to program associated with Benzo's Family Foundation. For every recipe submitted, $3 will be donated to organizations providing food to undernourished people around the world. Please help. See Mrs. Scooter for any further information and supplies. Attention seniors. If you're interested in purchasing a senior ad, please be informed that space and time is limited. Reach out to Mr. Fucci at vfucci@rpsd.org by Friday, February 28. He will be able to answer any questions or concerns you might have. The Borough of Roselle Park will be holding its annual St. Patrick's Day celebration on Saturday, March 7, 2020, from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Starting at 3 p.m., Joe Corselli's Masterpiece Orchestras will perform authentic Irish music. Authentic Irish food will be served during the event, which consists of corned beef, cabbage, boiled potatoes, carrots, Irish soda bread, and rye bread, as well as dessert. Mayor Sick and Borough Council invite everyone to join in the festivities.
Fridays for Patients raises funds in support of the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society.
This coming Friday is our last collection day, so please donate. And the winning homeroom gets one free bagel breakfast.
We have a special feature this morning that can be very helpful to any and all students. So let's go to Michelle for the details.
Have you ever wondered why school seems to be easy and less stressful for some students? Well, according to new research, participation in the arts can make a world of a difference. Just watch and you'll see.
It's easy to forget that drawing, music, and dancing are ancient forms of expression. They were present in our earliest communities, even when, as a species, we had almost no margin for error. So, what happens to our brains on art? Why do we engage in it at all? New studies reveal that the arts may prime our neural circuitry for a much broader range of activities, boosting crucial cognitive and social functions like focus, spoken and written language, self-control, and empathy. In 2016, for example, researchers exposed babies to simple melodies and found that it made them more sensitive to the underlying rhythms of spoken language. Brain scans revealed powerful responses in the auditory cortex of the infants, of course, but also recorded greater activation in the prefrontal cortex, the seat of executive functions like attention and self-control. Linking music to a set of cognitive skills that are amongst the most reliable predictors of success in school and in life. A 2019 study found similar results in adult musicians, but those weren't the only surprises in store for researchers. A high-quality 2019 study tracked over 10,000 students as they danced, performed in plays, or took part in music and visual arts programs. In addition to performing better on writing tests, researchers concluded they were better behaved, had greater compassion for others, and were more engaged in school. And there was excellent news in the visual arts too. A 2018 study found that drawing what you're learning is far superior to writing, and also beats out other techniques like visualizing, even if you're just producing simple sketches. So asking your students to draw as they compose stories or learn about cells or solar systems should pay big dividends in the end. The idea that the arts are merely extracurriculars, while deeply ingrained, is also bunk. Increasingly, the research shows that the arts are powerful tools for making sense of the world, not so terribly different from, say, mathematics or the written word.
Thanks for watching, have a great day, and stay tuned for CNN 10. What?
Question: how do you find objective news coverage paired with some ghastly puns, all delivered in 10 minutes? Answer: this is CNN 10, and I'm Carl Azus, happy to have you along for the ride. It's been a roller coaster ride for international stocks this week. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, an index of 30 important American stocks, fell hundreds of points on Monday and Tuesday. Japan's Nikkei index dipped more than 3%. Key Australian stocks dropped 1.6%. Indexes were also down in Germany and London, stocks seeming to drop as the Earth spun around. The main culprit for this is a disease outbreak that started in Wuhan, China late last year. The new coronavirus is not as widespread or deadly as the flu, but it's mysterious. International health officials aren't sure how it started. They don't know exactly how it spreads. They're not certain how contagious people are when they get it. Because of all that, they've had to resort to serious measures to try to contain it. Closures, cancellations, lockdowns, and quarantines are some of those measures. In Italy, which has seen the worst outbreak in Europe, at least 322 people have caught the new coronavirus and 11 have died.
Italian authorities continue to monitor and to try to prevent the spread of coronavirus here in what is the first major outbreak outside of Asia. 11 towns under quarantine with some 100,000 people affected by that. Italian authorities have had to put in special measures to ensure that those quarantines are respected, with laws designed to keep people in and to keep people out. A 3-month sentence looms if anyone tries to disobey those quarantine rules.
There's been an impact on tourism. We've talked about the cruise ship in Japan where there have been hundreds of cases. On Tuesday, there were lockdowns and isolations in hotels in Austria and the Canary Islands because guests who'd traveled there from Italy initially tested positive for coronavirus. All public and private schools are closed for 2 weeks in Bahrain, where there have been 26 cases so far. Iran has seen dozens of cases, and planned military exercises between the United States and South Korea were expected to be scaled back because of concerns about the disease. So as the new coronavirus has spread around the globe, it's had a myriad of impacts on the different societies it's hit. 10-second trivia. On May 29, 1848, which state became the 30th to be admitted to the Union? Texas, Iowa, Wisconsin, or Oregon? America's Dairyland, aka Wisconsin, is the 30th state. And though the state's 2020 presidential primaries for Republicans and Democrats aren't scheduled until April 7th, a town in Wisconsin has been testing out a new technology related to voting. It's something that could make critics skeptical, as technology was at the heart of the problems in the Iowa caucuses on February 3rd. People had trouble with the smartphone application there, as well as a call-in line and other issues. But this is another example of how organizations are trying to streamline and secure the voting process.
This is where the election guard magic happens, because when you insert the card here and it prints the ballot, that same moment the devices connected to this tablet are encrypting your data. We're not saying that election guard makes it impossible to hack voting machines. We're saying it makes it pointless to hack voting machines. We're right outside the town hall for the town of Fulton, Wisconsin.
Fulton doesn't have a bank, a post office, or even a grocery store. But today, this town of just over 3,000 residents is testing the latest voting security technology in a statewide election.
The grand vision of Election Guard is to make elections more safe, secure, and trustworthy than they have ever been in the history of the United States.
Microsoft says ballots are encrypted electronically the moment they're cast and stay that way. The system can then tally those encrypted votes without ever deciphering them. And even more importantly, it means hackers should have a harder time tampering with those votes.
We're building a world-class vault that your vote goes into, and then we're wrapping it with tamper-proof seal. If somebody successfully hacked into the system, if they could break into that vault, the technology would then reveal that something had happened, and then the election officials can make sure that the vote is accurate.
You here to vote? Yes. So there's a slightly different voting process going on today.
Here in Fulton, voters are using a tablet to make their selections and saving them on a card. When they insert that card here, their vote is encrypted and a paper duplicate prints automatically. None of this hardware is connected to the internet.
I came in expecting the little pencils and the forms with the little dots, and it wasn't like that at all.
Election Guard will work with paper as a primary source. It will work as the backup, but it would also work in a system that has no paper ballot at all.
And that's important. There are more than 10,000 election jurisdictions in the United States and no universal voting system.
Here in Wisconsin, each of our 1,850 cities, towns, and villages run their own elections, and so cost is a huge factor.
The Microsoft team wouldn't say how much it spent on the Election Guard project, but it's clear this isn't a profit play. Anyone can download the open source software for free.
It's absolutely core to our democracy that people know that when they vote, their vote counts.
A recent Gallup poll found that 59% of Americans lack confidence in the honesty of U.S. elections.
I think one of the largest challenges that's facing the election cycle this year is misinformation. It doesn't take an actual breach or an actual hack of a system. It just takes a rumor to undermine someone's confidence.
That's why a core feature of Election Guard is voter confirmation.
Jill Karofsky, 124.
Fulton's official results came from a hand count of the paper duplicates.
It also resulted in the exact same numbers from the tally from the machine.
The encrypted tally from Election Guard matched. And for the first time, voters could use a unique code to verify that their vote was counted.
Your vote was counted.
Do you have to be a software engineer to understand the significance of this?
Voters will believe in the technology when they see that it works and that it works consistently. We're really optimistic and hopeful that in the 2024 election cycle, many votes in the United States will be cast using Election Guard technology.
But in the wake of public debacles like the app meltdown at Iowa's Democratic caucuses,
this is an awkward moment.
Many officials and voters might be wary of new technology from private companies.
Do you think private tech companies are the answer to securing our democracy?
We need the public sector and we need the private sector working together to solve these problems.
I voted it, and I hope it counted.
Talk to you for hours and hours about the difficulties people in wheelchairs face on a daily basis. But until you actually sit in a chair, you'll never fully understand. Together we can change the world one challenge at a time.
I have no experience with a wheelchair. Even in a building that is handicap accessible, still you bump into doors, you bump into walls. Some of the doors become very heavy.
They can influence things. They can help people achieve more independence.
When you think of road hazards in Washington State, this doesn't come to mind. It also doesn't come when you call it. So multiple wildlife agencies had to work together to trap this 500-pound sea lion. Officials say it likely took several wrong turns after leaving the river, and that's how it wound up in a wooded area miles away from its water source. The sea lion was relocated to the Columbia River after it was trapped. I'd say they did a stellar job. Oh, the animal might have blubbered about it, but they didn't say cry me a river, they just took it to one. And once its fate and safety were sealed, we're sure the otter creatures all rushed over to hear some of its roarsome adventures as a pedestrian. Woo! On yesterday's show at youtube.com/CNN10, we got a comment from Baptiste High School in Baptiste, Oklahoma. Let's go Panthers! Thank you all for watching. I'm Carl Azus for CNN.